Some critical situations. In UAE the roads are smooth, and the vehicles are also in very good condition, but still accidents are happening in numbers. Most of the accidents take place due to the immature behavior of drivers. The drivers are responsible for most of the road traffic accidents. What are the main causes of traffic accidents? Speeding is considered to be the principal cause of more than half of all road accidents in the UAE. The second main cause of road traffic accidents is carelessness. Carelessness means to keep yourself busy with anything else instead of paying attention to the driving. The third main cause of road traffic accidents is lack of adherence to the rules of the road. For example, motorists get killed because they do not fasten their seat belts, do not consider other road users, ignore the speed limits or lack of road courtesy to other drivers. Some drivers are not aware of the limits to their own freedoms on the road, and as a result drive recklessly and end up hurting others. The attitude of some motorists is that it is their right to drive the way they want to, forgetting that the road is not their private property. Different type of accident. Single vehicle accidents. In a single vehicle accident, the driver will be held responsible. Mainly single accident takes place due to high speed. Carelessness and lack of road manners could also be the factors behind it. Crossroad accidents. The causes of accidents at an intersection or junction are usually because one or both of the drivers did the following: ignored the rules of the road, failed to notice road signs, was driving too fast for the circumstances, expected others to abide by the rules of the road, and was therefore unprepared for a crisis, failed to look out for other road users, misjudged the distance to the junction. Turning accidents. Common causes of a collision between two vehicles while turning are because one or both of the drivers did the following: misjudge the distance of an oncoming vehicle, fail to follow the road rules. Accidents between motor vehicles are accounted for more than 1/4 of all accidents with personal injuries. Oncoming traffic accidents. Common causes of a head-on collision are because one or both of the drivers did the following: was not expecting to meet another vehicle and brake so hard that the wheels got locked, was driving too fast, not maintaining the basic position. Overtaking accidents. Common causes of an overtaking accident are because the driver involved did the following: decided to overtake, even though his or her view of the road ahead was restricted, misjudged the speed and distance of the oncoming vehicle, overestimated his or her own car's acceleration capacity, and forgot that the other driver might also decide to accelerate, unexpectedly encountered an oncoming vehicle when trying to pass a long-bodied lorry or trailer, misjudged the state of the road. Pedestrian crossing accidents. Common causes of accidents involving pedestrians are because the driver did the following: did not notice or ignored the pedestrian on the other side of the crossing, had his or her view obstructed, perhaps by the doorpost or blind spot of the car, was traveling too fast, neglected to scan the road, was overtaking a vehicle that had stopped to allow a pedestrian to cross the street. Cyclist accidents. Common causes of accidents involving cyclists are because the driver did the following: ignored the cyclist, misjudged the cyclist's speed and intention, was passing the cyclist in high speed. Motorcycle accidents. Common causes of accidents involving four-wheel vehicles and motorcycles are because the driver did not see the motorcycle because it is smaller and often approaches at unexpected speeds, neglected to watch out for motorcycles creating their own lane between lines of other vehicles. Front to rear accidents. Rear-end collisions, when a vehicle drives into the rear of the vehicle in front, are usually the result of driving too close, otherwise known as tailgating. Always keep the correct distance between you and the vehicle driving in front of you. Rear-end collisions are most common inside the city limits and amongst taxi drivers. Dark accidents. Common causes of accidents involving unprotected road users in the dark are because the driver did the following: misjudged the speed and intention, was traveling too fast, did not consider the limited ability to see in the dark. Vehicle breakdown. What shall you do if your vehicle breaks down? Move the vehicle out of the way so that it is not a source of danger to other vehicles. Turn on hazard lights to warn the other road users. Take out all passengers from the vehicle and stop at a sufficient distance from road and prefer to stand behind the barriers of protection of the road. If the area is dark, turn on the parking lights. Call 999 for road support service. If you are involved in an accident, or if you are the first to arrive, remember, further collisions can and do happen. Say you have been involved in a minor accident and do not appear to be injured. Warn other traffic by switching on hazard warning lights or other lights, displaying an advance warning triangle. Call emergency services and give full details of the location and casualties. Location details are marked on yellow signs located at regular intervals on the hard shoulder. Always check these before you make your call to be able to tell the emergency services exactly where you are. 998 is the number to call for an ambulance. 999 is the number to call if you need to get in touch with the police. 997 is the number to call for the fire brigade. Give whatever help you can to others involved. Persons who seem to be unhurt may be suffering from shock and may in fact be unaware of their injuries. This includes you. If in doubt, get checked out at the hospital. What to do when you are involved in an accident. Leaving the scene of an accident without providing your details is a serious offense. Ensure moving the vehicle involved in an accident outside if possible. If you damage a traffic sign or devices used to control the traffic, immediately restore it if possible, and inform the concerned authorities. If you run into a parked car, try to get in touch with the owner. If you cannot, leave a message indicating your name and telephone number, and then notify the police. Note any witnesses and try to make sure they do not go before you get their names and contact numbers. Make a note of the numbers of any vehicles whose occupants might have witnessed the accident. Passing an accident scene. If you are not one of the first to arrive at the scene of an accident, and enough people have already stopped to give assistance, you should drive past carefully and not become distracted by the accident. If the accident is on the other side of a motorway, do not slow down to look. You may cause another accident on your side of the road, or, at the very least, additional and unnecessary traffic congestion. Always remember to give way to emergency vehicles. Watch out for their flashing lights and listen for their warning sirens. Camels and other animals that we encounter on the road. While passing camels, always pass them from behind, as camels always continue in straight direction. If being in high speed suddenly you encounter a small animal, do not get panic and neither apply the hard brake or sudden steer. Hold the steering wheel firmly and apply the brake gently. First aid on the road. Carry a first aid kit in your car which should be certified and updated. Nobody knows the exact number of accident victims on Emirates roads that could have been saved by giving them first aid, but it is perhaps as many as a quarter of all victims. Dealing with those involved. To help injured people you have to be able to give first aid. Casualties should under no circumstances be moved, unless they could be run over by other vehicles on the road, or if there is a risk of fire or explosion. And do not remove a motorcyclist's helmet, unless it is essential to do so. Casualties should be taken to hospital in an ambulance. They should be moved as little as possible. The panic associated with accidents is often extremely stressful. If possible, one person should take charge of obtaining assistance and alerting other road users to the accident by setting out triangular hazard signs. Even though the situation may be totally confusing, try to remain as calm as possible. When an ambulance arrives, give the crew as many facts as you can, but no assumptions. Diagnosis. Vehicle fires. Carrying a suitable fire extinguisher in your vehicle may help you to put out a small fire. If the fire appears to be a serious one, do not try to tackle it. Get well clear of the vehicle and leave it to the fire brigade. If you suspect a fire in the engine compartment, get all passengers out safely. And remember, fire can spread through a vehicle with alarming speed. If the fire is big, leave the vehicle and move away. How to avoid accidents? Here are some ways of reducing the chances of finding yourself in a critical situation. Always maintain good vision to the front and all around your vehicle. Keep an eye out for people crossing the road at official crossing places, and when driving by schools, shopping areas and other public gathering areas. Keep to your lane, except when overtaking, And do not weave from lane to lane. Do not look at maps or eat food while driving. Stop at a lobby and continue later. Many drivers do not approach driving as a serious exercise, one that could result in someone getting gravely injured or even killed due to a lapse of concentration or a failure of driving technique. It only takes a fraction of a second for things to start going wrong. The defensive driving. Defensive driving could be developed with time, experience and good skills of driving. No accident environment. This is impossible to make accident-free environment, but by following the precautions of not speeding, while driving to be alert and following the rules of the road, could take the critical situations out of the map.